Welcome to episode 2 of I Am the Bright Side. This is my second time ever filming a podcast. And as I explained in the first one, I really love sitting in my car. I feel the most comfortable here. I do a lot of journaling and inner work and meditating and praying. And so this is a very safe space and it's super comfortable. So I hope that translates through the video. This is me being authentic. This is pretty much what I do on a daily. So I want you guys to feel like you're sitting right next to me in the car and we're just having a conversation. And today, what we're going to be talking about is pretty much like breadcrumbing, that hot and cold, the up and down, on and off, those roller coaster relationships, which can also be situationships, right? So it's just when it's inconsistent, that inconsistency. So there's a couple of things with this. So there are a lot of people who are breadcrumbing, who are inconsistent, who are just unhealthy and don't realize they're doing this. When you see breadcrumbing, when you see inconsistency, when you see someone who isn't being intentional, that should be a red flag. That should be a sign that this person is emotionally unavailable. They are not what I'm looking for, and we ideally would move on. There's another type of person who kind of knows they're doing this and they know the I guess what it does, and it's like what we would call like the chase. So playing hard to get, breadcrumbing, right? Like, so they would do this intentionally to somewhat manipulate and control the situation and pretty much get you to want them. Either way, breadcrumbing is bad, right? It's not healthy. It's not ideal. And so what it does is it leads to confusion, right? It leads to mixed signals. It leads to anxiety, rumination, obsession, and also it can actually lead to that addiction. It's all about the brain, right? And so there's a reward system, there's dopamine involved, there's chemicals that we don't really get to see on a daily basis involved. And there's actually a study that was done where the rats were given, I know everyone's heard about this, the rats were, and I'm going to butcher it, but we're going to go there. Rats were given food, but they had to push a lever, and they were given this consistently. So they learned to push the lever. Typically, with breadcrumbing, there is a love bombing experience in the beginning where it's consistently given, and then all of a sudden it stops, right? And that's where what the rats experience, right? So then eventually, what they did to test is they quit giving food consistently, but the rats were obsessed still pushing the lever, expecting it consistently. So this actually created like an obsessive compulsion with the lever for the rats. And this is where the addictive behavior kind of comes in. And also, this is all survival mechanisms. Like, this is what your body is supposed to learn to do. This is like healthy for you to be able to survive, like on a subconscious level. You're not supposed to have to think about where is your next meal coming from, where is this love coming from. Like, your mind and your body are working subconsciously at all times. So when you don't know your needs, your boundaries, your red flags, your deal breakers, what's healthy, what's acceptable, typically this is all tied to trauma. This is all tied to what you've been conditioned to believe about yourself, what you've seen in past relationships. A lot of times I like to call it relationship trauma. So things that you've experienced in the past that basically just reinforce any fears, any limiting beliefs, any trauma, right? So it's like, why would anyone put up with breadcrumbing? Because they don't realize that's what's happening. The rats didn't realize it was happening. They were just trying to get their needs met. They were just trying to get food, right? So people are just trying to, love is a need. Love is a need. We are hardwired to, on a survival level, to need love, to need to belong. Okay. So like, this is your body doing its job. But what happens is we don't realize we're being breadcrumbed and this is inconsistent because we become confused, because we were given the attention and the love in the beginning. So out of nowhere, it's removed and we don't understand. The root of all of this, it stems from probably childhood trauma, relationship trauma, fears, right? So what is the root? The root is we want to be chosen. We want to be loved. We want to feel like we are enough and we are worthy to receive it. And there's also probably a fear of abandonment kind of involved here, because instead of leaving, we don't want to lose love. So we want to fight for it. We want to try to fix the situation. We want to over communicate, right? And try to get our partner to quit breadcrumbing and be consistent and be all the things we need. And then what happens is we think we're wrong for needing that. And it just becomes a psychological, like, traumatic experience over and over. But we're not wrong for needing those things. If we want to be wrong for anything, it's who we're choosing in the first place, right? So if you think about it, an emotionally available person would be able to communicate that they're taking space and why they're taking space, or where they were for the last 5 hours, right? Things like that. Or they would just be consistent, and we wouldn't be feeling anxiety. We wouldn't be feeling that way. But what happens is, when we find someone emotionally available, typically, if this is our pattern and this is kind of what's hardwired in our traumatic experiences, the emotionally available person will, one, either feel boring because there's not this heightened up and down obsessive addictive chemistry that we call it, right? But two, it's also going to feel extra unsafe because we deep inside do not feel worthy of the consistent love. So depending where you are on your healing journey, the healthy, emotionally available person is going to be the most triggering person, because a lot of times we are really good at tolerating and feeling comfortable in chaos and inconsistency. Like, that is what we're used to. That is what is normal. That is what we know how to deal with and be involved in. And so when we come in contact with someone who is actually healthy and emotionally available, if we haven't done that inner healing, we won't be able to receive it. Like, they can be super intentional, tell you exactly how they feel and what their intentions are, and it actually might push you away. It might scare you. And then you want to go back to what feels like chemistry, which is this up and down and like, oh my God, I gotta have it feeling. That's actually most likely not healthy. So the real inner work comes from kind of looking at the root, which is your beliefs, which is what you think is the truth about you, which isn't, right? So it's that I'm not good enough. This is all I'm worth. This is all I know. It's the fear of abandonment. I don't want them to leave, right? So once we can work through those things, the next level in our healing journey is going to be dating a healthy person, right? Like, that's actually probably harder, right? Because we haven't done that before, because we don't know how to be healthy, because we don't know how to receive consistency, pretty much, right? So it sounds bad to say, but it is the truth. And so learning how to receive a healthy love and know that you're worthy of it, and there's nothing you have to do to earn love, like, that would be a new concept. So what you're going to have to do is unlearn the old behavior, know who you are, know what your needs are, know what you're worth, know what you're looking for, and then learn how to receive that. One of the things that your mind will start to tell you, which is not a fact, is that, well, look, if this person who was toxic didn't even treat me right, like this bottom of the barrel treatment, bare minimum, like, if they didn't think I was worthy, why would someone who's top of the barrel believe I'm worthy, right? So, like, that is the battle in your mind that you have to overcome. And as soon as you do, you're going to realize, like, how much you've been putting up with that you didn't have to, and how there really are healthy people out there. And, like, we're not just attracted to unhealthy, it's just comfortable, it's familiar. And what we have to do is get uncomfortable and put ourselves in a healthier situation and learn how to receive love. And it is not easy. And that is the root of the whole situation. And I just finished my workout, and I want to add that I'm speaking from personal experience. I have received therapy for the last 10 years, done a lot of seminars, life coaching. I help others, right? And so I'm speaking from personal experience because I have been there, I have done that. And so I just want to add that for anyone that's curious as to, like, where I'm getting my information from. There's nothing more powerful than, I believe, wisdom from real world experience. So I hope that this resonated with somebody. I hope that this made sense. And if you want more like this, leave me a comment below and let me know.